And the third video of healing from chronic fatigue syndrome. This video is about emotional healing, crying, self-acceptance, self-love. Are you being hard on yourself? Are you putting yourself down? Are you living your life with goals in the future to avoid a pain that you carry along with you all the time? Well, this video is about that. And this started with me with this journey started with me with microkinesiology. And there was a man, I didn't know what he was doing. He just pushed some points and suddenly lots of emotions were released and like a wave of energy through my arm. And I cried for the first time in years. And then he introduced me to the theme called childhood traumas. And childhood traumas cost energy and they take you away from the present moment because they are in your body and you are avoiding them. And the only way you can avoid them is by thoughts. And thoughts are addictive. And thoughts are never true. So there's no reason to not live in the present moment, as it is the only moment that is alive. Future doesn't exist. Past is dead. There is only now. And when you are ill, especially when you're ill, when you have chronic fatigue syndrome, for you there is no reason to think about the future because you don't have a future now. So you have to be present at this moment. So I'm not an expert in emotional healing. I just did it and it worked for me. I used the completion process from Teal Swan to body scan your body, and then I noticed in the beginning that there was a slight pressure in my chest. There was also a slight pressure in my stomach, and there was like this whole weird feelings in my head, but that just became the chronic fatigue syndrome. The more I focused into these areas, the more images I would receive, or memories, or a smell, or a feeling. And I started to focus on that because, you know, I was laying in bed. There was not much else I could do. Then I noticed that these small pressures became bigger until I had like the urge to give it a name. And I called it like there was a tornado in my chest, like, and there was like a big stone on my stomach. And I zoomed into it, and well, you wouldn't believe how much traumas I found out by meditating on it, from sadness to not accepting myself. Well, there's just too many. And my coping mechanisms were always to use my energy, to pretend nothing is going wrong. And my illness basically also prevented me from using my coping mechanisms. You might think that you don't have any emotional traumas, but believe me, you have. And everybody has them. From childhood, it's inevitable. And you're also probably building an emotional traumas right now because you are ill. And it's very hard to be ill and to see others continue their lives. People don't understand you. So yes, you have to cry. You have to feel into your body. The completion process teaches you to zoom into the time when stuff happened. And some stuff happened when I was like 2 or 3 or sometimes even 1 or a baby. I don't even remember. But feelings showed me that there was something. The book invites you to take that small inner child and put it in your arms and give it exactly what it needed. It was probably just some understandings. Make it feel like it was not alone. Yeah, the inner child needs your attention. If you have chronic fatigue syndrome, definitely try it, and I won't disappoint you. There were lots of reasons for me to not do it, because it's not fun. But once you get the hang of it, you'll notice it's completely relieving. I felt so relieved, all these tears that were waiting for years to get out. All these things you didn't accept from yourself that you suddenly accepted, and you start notice why you did the things in your life that you actually did, and your patterns. And the more you've cried out of your emotions, the easier it will become to live in the present moment, because, as I said, thoughts were only a coping mechanism to avoid the present moment, because in the present moment the body feels at unease. The body needs, your mind has goals in the future to prevent from what is right here, right now, because only the future, which doesn't exist, can make you avoid the present moment. And the present moment is so extremely beautiful, especially when you've been caught up in your head for I don't know how long, but I was like since a small child already. I immediately noticed things were getting brighter, and when I started with all the puzzle pieces in place in August 2017, I felt so in love with the whole world and with Daniel for the first time in my life. Everything was just perfect, and I never saw it that way. If you have any questions about this topic, please fill it in the remarks below. Discuss about it, and go to the YouTube channel from Teal Swan. I'm not earning money with this, so buy her book. I don't know, for all I care. Just download it illegally or legally. Just do it. Do whatever you have to do. Do the completion process. Become present in the present moment. I had a moment. Was exactly a year ago. It was a hot day in May, and at that hot day, I was finally happy. After 2 years of being ill, I noticed happiness again. And happiness, well, I don't know, I was surprised by it. It just came to me, and I started investigating where is this coming from, this happiness. And then I realized that the only thing that ever prevented me from being happy was the mind, with all his tactics and his thoughts. So in order to be happy, I had to ignore my thoughts, or not believing that they can provide me happiness in the future now, because the now is only that what exists. And that was such a mind-blowing thing for me. It sounds easy like this for you, probably, but I was crying, laughing, even dancing. I felt joy. I felt like I was on cloud 9 for a while. And then, you know, it's the beginning. It was not easy to always stay in the present moment, because there is like a lot going on, a lot of patterns. But I just basically always said, whenever there was a thought in my head, is this thought about now being perfect? No? I let it go. Is this thought about me being perfect now? If not, just let it go. If this is this thought about here being perfect? If not, I let it go. So any thoughts about others, about something that is not right here or not right now, just let it go. And then less thoughts came in my mind. Like previously, maybe 10,000 thoughts a minute, and that's slowed down to probably 2 thoughts a minute. And I was so zen, so in love with the world. And from then on, I started to get more energy. So become present, heal your emotions. That was the 3rd video. The 4th video will be about pacing. So hang on there, and thank you for watching, and I'm really proud that you made it this far. Bye.